On your health tonight, offering a Mediterranean menu to your kids. A new study finds certain foods can help them avoid problems with blood pressure and cholesterol as adults. Here to explain, Dr. Scott Hadland, Chief of Adolescent and Young Adult Medicine at Mass General for Children. Good to see you, Doctor.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for coming in. Happy Friday.
Same to you.
I know it was a long day for you guys at Mass General this tech outage, but we've talked about the Mediterranean diet before. Just refresh everybody. What are the basics of it?
Well, it sounds exotic, but it's actually pretty simple. It's a diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, seeds, nuts, fish, and lean meat. Healthy stuff.
Olive oil in there too is
olive
the kind
oil
of
in
the
there
fat
too.
that you use?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And it's important to differentiate it from what it's not, right? We've spoken on this program before about ultra-processed foods that have lots of additives, preservatives, dyes, salt, extra sugar, extra fat. These are foods that don't have that, and that probably attributes a lot of the health benefits.
So do kids have to wait until they're older to see any real benefits from this, or is it now?
No, there are good studies showing that the sooner you start, the sooner kids will start to see benefits. And so, kids who are eating components of the Mediterranean diet as best as they can and as best as their parents can get them into them do see better blood pressure and in the long term sort of better cholesterol, lower risk of diabetes, healthier weight. And of course, as that continues throughout life, that results in the long course, lower risk of heart attack, stroke, cancer, and lots of other issues.
So I know you're a dad. I'm a dad also. I have a 12 and an 8-year-old. And I would say they're pretty good eaters. They eat a lot of veggies. They eat things like grilled chicken, low-fat steak, those kinds of things. Not a lot of processed foods we try to encourage. I will tell you things like fish. It's really hard to get kids interested in that. So do you force them? Do you give them a choice? How do you go about that?
Well, let me humbly get off my high horse and tell you that my kids love pizza. They eat pizza, probably more than they should. And my kids are not sitting around eating, salmon encrusted or all kinds of fancy fishes, right? We're doing our best as we can as parents, and that's what I really recommend that families do: is that parents role model good, healthy eating behaviors to kids, present healthy options. And so, even though my kids love pizza, they also, over time, after being exposed to lots of fruits and vegetables like broccoli and carrots and cashews. And so there are ways to get components of the Mediterranean diet in.
I think the word diet can be tricky when you hear Mediterranean diet. That word, I think,
can be triggering.
Yeah, for parents with their kids. What say you when it comes to that overall?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's really important for us as parents to talk about food not as something that's bad or that needs to be restricted, but actually talk about something that brings health and nutrition. And, it's really important that parents, again, present as much of this as they can to kids and role model it, because that's going to be the way to get kids to understand that this is the way to improve their health. I guess the last thing I would add is that I think sometimes the Mediterranean diet can sound swanky and expensive, right? The broccoli that my kids like is the broccoli that comes out of the frozen food aisle that costs, mere dollars and is easy to reheat and doesn't, take a lot of time or money.
You can boil that easily. And
that's right.
That's great.
It's quick.
And frozen vegetables have a lot of nutrients in them, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Dr. Hadland, good to see you.